Okay, welcome back to another episode of Paul's Collectibles. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate having you. If you're a return customer, it's always good to see you. If you're new to the channel, thanks for joining me. Take a look around, see if there's anything else you might like. As you can see behind me, I have a pretty good collection of Stormtrooper and other types of trooper helmets that I've done a few videos on. Today we're going to talk about my 3 3/4 inch action figure collection again. As many of you are well aware, I recently wrapped up my overview of all of the figures that I currently own. And you know the interesting thing? As I was going through, I discovered, hey, 21 years of collecting, and I didn't have a Scout Trooper in any fashion, and I didn't have a TIE Pilot in any fashion, nor did I have an AT-AT driver in any fashion. And frankly, I don't know how that happened. So I decided to start remedying that. At this point, I'm still missing an AT-AT driver, and I'll be looking. Hopefully, I'll be able to find one for a reasonable amount of money. But we're going to take a look at my newest additions to my 3 3/4 inch action figure collection. Also, some vintage collection news. They recently came out with this really cool Bespin carbon freezing set, and it is terrible looking if you ask me. A lot of people are calling it the bridge to nowhere. It's just a bunch of plastic stilts. Now the cool thing, however, is that it comes with a carded vintage collection Stormtrooper, but it's inside the package. So I have a conundrum. Do I want to pay $51, depending on where you look for it, for that Stormtrooper, or do I just want to pass on this one? If you have an idea of where I might be able to get that Stormtrooper outside of that box set, with the Stormtrooper still in its package, in good condition, I'm willing to take some advice. But until then, let's take a look at what I've got recently. Okay, so I did a little shopping around on Amazon, and I just typed in 3 3/4 inch Biker Scout, and this was one of the first ones that came up. I have quite a bit from this collection. This is the 30th anniversary collection, and this Biker Scout just happens to be a fan's choice. This is from that set that you'll recall comes with the coins, and on the back it gives you a little dossier and a little screen grab from where they came in the movie. And just an overall really good figure. I like the slight discoloration on the belt and around the boots, and they paid a lot of attention to this and the detail they put into it. So I was very happy with this purchase, and it came in great shape. The second Scout Trooper I found was from the Saga collection, and they sent this one to me in a clamshell or a star case or whatever you want to call them. This Trooper looks incredibly similar to the other one from the 30th anniversary collection, but since it was also at a reasonable price, I went ahead and picked it up. Just another good looking Trooper, and this had the Ultimate Galactic Hunt special offer sticker on it as well. But once again, great condition. It was a little dusty on top, but I'm sure it was just sitting somewhere in a shelf or a shop or something waiting to be purchased. And we'll take a look at the back, and there's what it looked like back in the day. After finding a couple of Scout Troopers to pick up, I was pretty satisfied with what I'd found. I decided, you know what, let's keep looking around on Amazon, see if I can find some TIE Fighter pilots. For some strange reason, the TIE Fighter pilots are a little harder to find at a reasonable price. So this is one of the first ones that came up. This is from the original trilogy collection, and it's getting to a point where I have to drop my standards a little bit, not be quite as picky. The figure, don't get me wrong, is in really great shape inside there. They did a good job. This is towards the newer era, I think, where the sculpts are getting really good. And that's a beautiful TIE Fighter pilot. I'm going to add that to my collection, obviously, and I was happy to get him. And then we'll flip him over. Now, it's going to be difficult to see on video, but if you look closely, it appears along in here that the figure got wet at some point. And the packaging is kind of creased and mashed in. And it just was a little disappointing to me because, as you can see up top, there's a lot of warping going on. And I recognize that these figures aren't going to be expensive in the future or worth any money. But for me, the packaging is also pretty important, and I was kind of disappointed when I got that. But at least I got the TIE Fighter pilot. And while I was searching around, I also found this Battle of Yavin TIE Fighter pilot from what was affectionately referred to as just the Star Wars wave. This is one of the newer ones from that, where they started adding the gold bar on the side to tell you what movie they came from. This guy comes with his stand. This is a different sculpt from the other TIE Fighter pilot. This one's facing forward a little bit more. Once again though, a beautiful figure. You can't quite tell once again. I was a little disappointed with both of these TIE Fighter pilots. I cleaned it up a little bit, but the bubble came with some sort of weird film on it. Wasn't really taken well care of. The packaging over here is a little creased. But once again, from a private seller on Amazon, I suppose that I can just be happy that I was able to find them at a reasonable price. So I've rectified the fact that I have no TIE pilots. I've rectified the fact that I have no scout troopers. Now I'm in the market for an AT-AT driver and for the new vintage collection Stormtrooper, Clone Trooper, or Sith that are coming out in the future. I'll see you on the next video.